Hey everybody, Scott Jansen here, and in today's video, guys, I'm going to show you how to turn one piece of social media content for your therapy or coaching business and turn it into 5, 10, even a dozen pieces of new content without constantly thinking of new ideas about what to post on your social media. That's right, guys. This is how I turn one piece of content into what could be nearly a week's worth of content in the matter of just minutes. So guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to repurpose your content, showing you how to repurpose it for Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn without creating multiple pieces of content, and how you can take one piece of very viral content and turn it into multiple. So guys, let's dive into this. All right, guys, so this is essentially how I repurpose all my content from Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and essentially how and why I never run out of ideas for my content, because I'm not always thinking about new things. I'm always thinking, how can I repurpose what I have already, and what can I repurpose that has been proven to be very popular in my market? So guys, I'm going to show you this little order of events here. Then I'm going to take you over to my Facebook to show you where I actually look for tracking and things called Asymmetry. Then I'm actually going to take you into my actual booking system and how I position my survey in such a way which shows me exactly where people are finding me to book calls with me and where I need to concentrate my time on to create content for that specific platform. So guys, this is all about repurposing. All right. So let me give you an example of what I would do. Let's say I start the week, let's say it's on a Monday, and I do my first Facebook Live. So I got Facebook Live at the start of the week. I then can turn that Facebook Live into a YouTube video. So I will essentially download it from Facebook and I'll upload it straight into YouTube. I'll optimize all the keywords, I'll create a thumbnail, I'll make sure it's got a very catchy title. So from one activity like a Facebook Live that might go for 20 minutes, I now have a 20-minute YouTube video. From there, I'm going to take the same downloaded file from my Facebook Live that I've just added to YouTube, and now I'm just going to upload it straight to LinkedIn. I'm not actually going to post the link of the YouTube video to LinkedIn. I just like uploading the video. Okay. From there, I'm actually going to take the video and I'm actually going to transcribe it to a blog. So there's plenty of platforms online, guys, where you can actually send them a file and they'll transcribe that file, which is a video, into a blog. You'll actually get the written content. So it's like speech to text technology. And let's say for a 20-minute YouTube video might cost me $10 to do. Okay, so from one Facebook Live, I've now created, so Facebook Live is 1, YouTube video is 2, upload to LinkedIn is 3, transcribe to a blog is 4. So I've created 4 outcomes or 4 outputs from one input, but it doesn't stop there. From the transcribe to a blog, I'm obviously going to make it into a blog. I might send that as an email broadcast to all my subscribers. I'm going to SEO it so it shows up on Google, but then I'm going to turn it into a long post. And I'm literally going to upload the transcribe onto Facebook, give it an image, and now I've got a long post. Then I'm going to take that long post and I might chop it up. I might just find the best part of the post itself, turn it into a short post. Now I've got another action, another output. And lastly, I might even turn just one sentence that I really liked in that blog or really liked in that post. I'm going to turn it into an announcement. So guys, do you see what we've got there? From one Facebook Live, I now have a YouTube video. I have content for LinkedIn. I've transcribed it to a blog. I can SEO that blog so I show up on Google. I then turn it into a long post, a short post, and an announcement. So from one Facebook Live, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 outputs from one 20-minute video. And guys, this is the way you need to be thinking. And you guys probably realize I don't talk about Twitter. I don't talk about Instagram because I don't use those platforms. So I'm sure if you're more familiar with those platforms, you can repurpose content from Facebook to Twitter, Facebook to Instagram, Instagram back into YouTube. All of these things can be done. What it really talks about, guys, is you want to minimize the amount of inputs as far as the energy it takes. You definitely want to be doing a lot of inputs, but how can you turn one piece of great content into multiple outputs? That's what repurposing content is about. You've just got to think in terms of where is this content going onto which platform, and how do I make sure that the content is designed perfectly for that platform? So what happens next? Well, I'm going to take this content and, like I said, I'm going to email broadcast it. So I might send it to my email list 2 to 3 times per week, and probably 3/4 of the time. So if I do 3 a week, 2 of those times per week is literally just me sending the YouTube video to people. Okay, so I'm not selling my email broadcasts. Okay, I'm saying, hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you X, Y, and Z. I might send that on Monday, which is the YouTube video that I did from the Facebook Live. On Thursday, I'm going to send another YouTube video, which will be the second Facebook Live, because I might do a Facebook Live on Wednesday as well. And this process starts again. Remember, this is just from one Facebook Live. Imagine, or just do the maths in your head quite quickly, guys. If I did 5 Facebook Lives a week, you can see how quickly we can create content now. So the email broadcast is literally just me sending, hey, come and watch this YouTube video. I don't upload the video into the email broadcast. I send them from my email broadcast. I send them over to YouTube, because that'll help me grow my YouTube channel at the same time, because I can draw that audience back into my booking system and get clients from YouTube as well. Repurposing content, guys. Okay. So from there, the Facebook Live, this is quite sneaky. So let's say the Facebook Live I did at the start of the week. Okay, I might do one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, let's say Thursday, okay? Or even Monday and Wednesday. Let's say I even did 2 per week because I was running out of time. What I'd actually do is take that Facebook Live that I did at the start of the week, and I'm going to upload it as one of the last things I do for that entire week. So if I did a Facebook Live at night time on Monday, I'm actually going to take that same Facebook Live that I've already uploaded to YouTube, the same file, and I'm going to upload it to Facebook maybe on Friday evening. So I'm not going to create a whole new Facebook Live if I've run out of time. And the reason we can get away with this, guys, is because your market's not following you that carefully. Okay? If they are, you could take the Facebook Live that you did on a Monday at the start of the month, re-upload it 14 days later, 21 days later, 30 days later. That's fine, because the people that didn't see it the first time round will now see it the second or the third time round. So I'm always repurposing the content. I'm always keeping the files that I'm creating, and I can upload them to other platforms at different times for different time zones, because I have clients all over the world. So I want them to see it as well. So again, repurposing content. Then what I do, guys, I'll take you over my Facebook page next, and I'll show you how to do this. It's really, really simple, and no one does this, which I don't know why. It's ludicrous if you're not doing this. I do what's called a 30-day tracking, where I actually, at the end of every month, I've finished for the month, I've looked at all my numbers, I've done all my paperwork, it's been a great month. What I'll actually do before I get ready for the next month, will be the following day, is I go back over the last 30 days, usually just over Facebook, because that's where I'm most active, and I'll look at the content that I produced over that 30 days. And I'm going to just take a mental note, or just write it on a piece of paper. I'm going to go through all the videos, go through the posts, go through the announcements, look at the testimonials, and I'm simply going to look at which content created the most buzz, which got people's attention, who commented, liked, and shared the most. Was it video content? Was it post content? Was it just showing testimonials? Okay, and I'm going to write down what were the results. Okay, and then what I'm going to do the following month is I'm going to take what worked the first month, and I can redesign similar videos that might almost sound very similar to the Facebook Lives and the videos I did a month before. I'm going to redesign them for next month. And this is great. It may seem like I'm always talking about the same thing. However, what I am talking about is the things that work, the things that get my market's attention. So I don't forever have to, get flustered and think, oh my God, what content am I going to create? I'm always looking at what worked in the past, whether it's 14 days ago, 30 days ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, and I can redesign those videos, change the title, change the angle, just change something in it so it seems fresh, but it's very similar to content I've created before. So I can redesign them or post them for next month. But guys, you definitely want to be looking at your content every 30 days to know what worked. If you're not tracking your content, how the hell do you know what's working in your business? In our 100K coaching program, we call this asymmetry, to do the least amount of work that gets the most amount of outputs. Okay, the way we can find the least amount of work means that we can literally do hardly anything, but make the most amount of money, is we have to track things. We have to analyze and scrutinize everything we do to find out, okay, I did all of this content here, I created all this stuff here, none of this worked. But every time I create a video about this subject, it goes crazy. People start booking in calls, they start asking me questions, they start messaging me on Facebook. If you can notice those trends, guys, keep creating that content that worked and forget about everything else. So I'll show you on my Facebook page how I track things, guys, in a moment. Then what I'm going to do is, as part of my finishing for that month, is I'm going to track all my surveys. So I have all my people that want to book strategy calls with me. They come over to my Calendly link, and everybody before they book a strategy call has to fill out a survey. And one of those survey questions is, how did you find out about Scott? And I give them an option. Was it Facebook? Was it LinkedIn? Was it YouTube? Was it email broadcast? Or was it by referral? Now, why would I ask those questions? Because, guys, I want to track things. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'll actually take you over to my Calendly, and we'll look at the last 14 days of my book calls. And what I'm looking for is, let's say 70% of the people that booked a call through Canali all came from YouTube. What do you think I'm going to put my time into? YouTube. If 50% of my people came from Facebook, the other 50 came from LinkedIn and none from YouTube, you know what I'm going to do? Double down on Facebook and LinkedIn and forget about YouTube for a while, or redesign the way that I do YouTube to make it more efficient. I'm always looking, guys, to repurpose content, but always looking for this asymmetry, always trying to track things so I'm not wasting my time. For a majority of people, they're using all of these different platforms, all of these different social media tactics, using video, posts, blogs, all of this stuff, and they're constantly just having to recreate this stuff every single day in absolute masses, but they have no idea what's actually working for them. They can't track, where did my last client come from? Because if you can't do that, it means you do have to be creating this content all of the time and just guessing and choosing and wondering what works. What I want to be doing is only spending my time efficiently on the things that work and ignore everything else. And again, that's why I don't use Instagram and Twitter, because we've tested them and they don't work for my market. My biggest asymmetry right now, guys, because of the tracking, is coming from Facebook and YouTube. LinkedIn for a while, but LinkedIn's gone a bit slow for us. So what do you think I do now in my business, guys, and my company? I track Facebook and YouTube, and I double down on that content. And it just helps me master these platforms so easy. I'm not going to spend any time wasting my time, energy, or effort on things that don't work. And this can only be done by tracking. I'm going to show you how to do that, guys. So have a look at this. Look what we can create from one Facebook Live. Pretty cool, right? Turns into blogs, long posts, short posts, YouTube video, LinkedIn, could go to Twitter and Instagram, email broadcast. I can use the same Facebook Live that I did at the start of the month. I can re-upload it the last of the month, and also the tracking purposes as well, which we're going to transition, guys, over to Facebook, and then I'm going to transition over to my Calendly link, and I'm going to show you what we're looking for. So guys, there it is there. Take a screenshot of that. Start thinking about repurposing your content for different platforms, okay? And now let's go look at the tracking system and show you how to do this as well. All right, guys, so here we go. So I'm over on my Facebook page, and I just want you to imagine that this is the end of the month. I'm obviously recording this on the 17th of July, so only halfway through the month. Well, let's imagine this is the end of the month, and this is literally what I do, guys. I just backtrack the last 30 days of that month, and I look at the content. What got more likes? What got more shares? What got people talking? And then I know what I need to concentrate on for next month. Now, because I've done this so often, I already know what works for my market. And as you can imagine, it's these things here, testimonials, which is why I show so many testimonials. Not only do we get a ton of them, but these are the things that book calls. Now, guys, could you imagine if you found this for your coaching business? Imagine that you found that every time you did a Facebook Live, it was constantly booking strategy calls for you, or constantly getting paid clients. But every time you did a post, every time you did an announcement, every time, I don't know, you did like a quote with a selfie or something like that, that it produced nothing. Nothing, there was no effect from that cause. Would you keep doing it? Well, you probably would if you weren't tracking, but if you were tracking things, you know right now by looking at the last 30 days data and go, wow, every time I do a Facebook Live, look at the reaction. What if next month, all I did was double down on my Facebook Lives? I really concentrated on making them so fucking amazing because they're always producing an effect. This, guys, is the power of tracking. Again, we call this asymmetry, finding what works in your business and ignoring the rest. So this is what I do, guys. So I've just backtracked 1st of July, okay? And let's have a look. So this was just a little fun thing about me getting up early in the morning and starting my business, and got a couple of comments, a couple of likes and shares, but nothing really when I talk about me gets a lot of shares or likes or talking. These are actually just students who just interact with my content. So that's okay. Next thing, 2 to 3 hours later was a testimonial. Okay, 13 likes, comments. This testimonial actually booked a call. Someone told me that. An announcement, did okay. Okay, so again, I'm just writing down this on a piece of paper. Something that's a little bit fun for my whole audience. Obviously, these little fun things that aren't too serious, they usually get a few likes, shares, and comments, so that's okay, but I don't do too many of those. Another testimonial, more likes and shares. Another testimonial, which is an announcement, likes. A quick announcement, did okay. Another testimonial, did better. Okay, you can see what I'm doing here, guys. And again, I already know what I'm doing ahead of time, so we post all of these testimonials because I've done this for months on end when I first started to track everything years ago. So I'm just reproducing what works. But imagine this was your first time. That's why I want you to look at it. That every time you posted something, you started to get a lot of likes, a lot of shares, a lot of comments, people talking, like this one here. You need to take note of this stuff, guys. So here's a longer post. Here's another testimonial. Here's a video. Didn't do that good for a video, but you know, as I was saying on the previous slide, guys, remember how I said I'd see the Facebook Live, which was this one, and then I re-uploaded it to my actual Facebook page about 14 days later. This is what I mean. And these people think it's a new one because they didn't see it the first time. Again, repurposing content. That did okay. Another announcement did better. Okay, that's me giving something away for free. So this was me actually giving a free copy of my book. Obviously, this is going to get a lot of comments, a lot of people liking it because people like free stuff. Okay. Now, what's tricky here is, yeah, I want to look at this data and go, wow, this did really well, but I don't want to get caught up in this. I don't want to get blinded by this and say, well, every time I give free stuff away, people like and share it and they want my free stuff. I'm just going to give a ton of free stuff. What you do have to track after that is once I've given away that free stuff, what did it turn into? I'm not going to create free stuff for the sake of it. What I've done in this free book actually is I have a big call to action at the end. Once people finish reading that book, they read the last page, which tells them, hey, you've read the book, you may as well book a call with me and start my program. Click this link. It's actually a downloadable book. I don't give them a physical copy. I have a downloadable book so that link can be active and they can book a call with me. When I first gave this out, not a lot of people booked a call from this book. How do I know that? Because I asked people. I tracked it. So do you think in the future I'm going to give away a lot of free stuff? Hell no. If, however, let's say I gave out 200 of these books and 200 people booked a strategy call and 150 of those people started my program because of that book, do you think I'd write another book? And this is only a 50-page book. Do you think I'd write another one and another one and another one? Absolutely I would. But it didn't turn out, so I'm not going to do this again, okay? Again, testimonial, did well. There's an actual link for the YouTube video, okay, that never does that good. Sorry, Terry. Over here, an announcement, okay, testimonial, guys, I think you see my point. I don't want to become too redundant here, but I'm looking at this stuff, guys, okay? But I'm looking at this stuff so I know what to post every day, so I know what content to concentrate on, so I know where to put my efforts. Now, these type of results do not happen on my LinkedIn page, okay? I know how to work LinkedIn really, really well, but it's a lot of effort. With Facebook, I don't have to think. I can literally post something like this or show a quick screenshot like this, which is from my Facebook group of one of my students. This one is $120,000 in the first 6 months of the year with a $43,000 June. That's one of our students is a hypnotherapist. And I'm going to repost this stuff, and it takes me like 2 seconds, but I know it does really well. I'm not just posting it because it's simple. I'm posting because it does really well. And I'm constantly posting student results. Why? Because these students' results turn into more business for my company, turns into more paying and very happy students. And guys, this is how I'm tracking everything. I literally just go through everything, look at the numbers and see what did well. These do well as well, which is the student interviews. This turned into probably half a dozen strategy calls in a day. And we closed all of them, which was another 6 students for us, which was really cool. So what was cool is people had watched this video, but what I also noticed is they don't just watch one video. They look at my announcements, they go through the testimonials. So they're not just watching one thing, they're absorbing all of my content, and it's really solidifying to them that I am the expert in what I do. Tracking, look at the numbers, guys, you get my point. So now let's go over to Calendly. And I talked about this in the previous slide, which is how do we find out where are these people coming from? What's really solidifying our content into paying clients? Let's go over to Calendly. So what I've done, if you guys aren't using Calendly for your booking system, I suggest you do. It's free. That's why we use it. And it is so goddamn good. Every student that comes onto a strategy call with me has to fill out a survey, and I'll show you what these surveys are. So what I've got here, I've just created a date range from the 1st of July to the 17th of July, just like I did for Facebook. And all I'm looking for is I just want to track one thing, okay? So this was a strategy call from Johnny. If I come over here to the details, this is all the questions of my survey, guys. It's a pretty straightforward survey. But as I mentioned before, I have that one question, which is, how did you hear about Scott? And I give them several examples. Well, Johnny found me on Facebook page, Facebook Lives and testimonials. These things, Facebook Lives, announcements, testimonials from my Facebook page. Okay, so we can give Facebook a tick. Let's just do that one. And I go to the second one, Charmaine, which was Facebook. Facebook gets 2 for Facebook. Luke, we are friends on Facebook. Facebook gets another one. Sharon, Facebook gets another one. See where I'm going here, guys? Had I not tracked this, I wouldn't know. Facebook again. Anna, a referral, okay, which is great. We have a great referral system. That's why I know that works. Another referral. Debbie was a YouTube video, so YouTube gets one. Mubasha is, so you've got a couple here, Facebook page, YouTube, and word of mouth. This really summarizes my entire marketing. I spent a lot of time on Facebook showing testimonials, showing YouTube videos, and a lot of word of mouth, okay? So those 3 get a tick. Lizzie, referral. Gabriella, what did she have? Facebook, she had a referral as well, and Facebook page. Candace, referral, and so on and so forth. You guys see what I'm doing here? And I just go back over the entire month. We had sort of a slower month because I blocked off about half of my calendar because I'm redesigning parts of my program and I need a lot of time to do that. Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm literally just writing things down. So let's say, for example, I get to the end of this tracking and the summary says that out of 30 phone calls, 20 came from Facebook, 5 came from YouTube, and 5 came from referrals. What do you think I'm going to concentrate on? If no one's ticking LinkedIn, if no one's ticking any other social media, if people are saying, I didn't hear you from anything, I just somehow stumbled across your website, I'm going to concentrate on the things that people are finding me and the platforms where people are finding me. If they're not finding me on certain platforms, I don't put an ounce of effort into those things. So guys, that is how I not only repurpose all of my content, but I also track all my content so I know what to do every single month, month after month, and I can concentrate on only the things that work. I highly suggest if you don't have a survey for your booking call or your strategy calls, create a survey. If you have a survey, make sure you have this question in there. This is really important for your tracking. You need to know where your clients are finding you from so you know what to double down on and you know what to ignore with everything else. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, please comment below. Always happy to answer those questions or reach out to me on Facebook. You guys should know where I am on Facebook. This guy right here. Come and send me a friend request. You can reach out to me personally. Always happy to help as best as I can. Always happy to answer as many questions as I can too. So guys, that's all from me for today. See you in the next video. Bye for now.